In this section, we're going to briefly touch on subcontracted services. It's very important that you basically, if you're dealing with any subcontractors, that you have built out an SOP with them to begin with is what I recommend. And this is standard operating procedures, basically. You need to make sure that they know how soon that you need the invoice. What kind of documentation? If it's dumpsters, you can't just get a dumpster account. You're going to need waste manifest showing where it was dropped off and emptied at the landfill, okay? This is validation that you're going to need if you ever get audited, especially if you're doing any kind of government or FEMA work. You're definitely going to need that extra level of validation. Same thing if you're removing any hazardous materials, okay? So basically one of the things that you want to do is basically you want to get estimates or at least know ballpark about what these guys are going to charge when you're building your ROM, okay? You're going to need to know that, hey, my guy is saying that dumpsters is going to be about $1,200. I better mark that at about $1,400 along with my overhead and profit. That way my ROM is accurate and I don't miss that. Now the great thing is that HelixCo already captures, if you put in a generator, it automatically assumes the fuel right now at $6.50 a gallon. We'll adjust that as time goes on and we get feedback from all the contractors we know. But right now that covers enough for your truck and your delivery and everything else for that diesel fuel to run those generators. And it's also going to estimate that generator at full capacity. Okay, that is 100% draw. Okay, so which very, 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 very rarely do anyone ever put a full draw on their generators. They're usually 75-80% is on average of what I see. So that gives you a little bit of extra wiggle room there, okay? And that also gives you your overhead. You can add your overhead and profit to that as well. I also recommend that you utilize purchase orders. Anytime you're going to have a single invoice, so it's every dumpster, every time you have porta johns and hand wash stations or whatever the case may be, you're having a roofer come tarp a roof, whatever it is, that you issue a PO from your system to that contractor. That way when you get to the end of the job, and especially when you're doing projects that are 10, 15, 20 million dollars, very large projects, it's sometimes you think you got everything, but you don't. And you're able to go back to your PO system and match up your invoices before you turn in your final bill to make sure that you actually have received everything. And the good thing is that HelixCo basically allows a centralized location for everything. So you can upload all your invoices, all your receipts, everything there into one location and track it into the document section. And that's your backup. And then basically this is going to give you a clean record to prevent any kind of orphan cost or anything else that may eat up your margin or something that you may have forgotten.